Good morning, Bible CrossFitters. Is that better than Bible nerds? We're looking at Summer in the Scriptures this morning, and today is Wednesday, June 17th. And we will be looking at chapter 17 of the book of Matthew on the 17th day of Summer in the Scriptures. So, in the very beginning of this passage, there's an airplane that flies overhead. No, just kidding. There's no airplane. But in the very beginning of this passage, there's a lot of specific information. And we haven't seen this kind of specific information since the first two chapters, which is the birth narrative. So we have 6 days later. I don't know. There's all these events that happen in 16, and then 6 days later, Jesus took Peter, James, and John up a mountain. So we get time, place, and person. Who, where, and when. And the whole point of this is the transfiguration. It's the what. So we have this scene. It's very famous. We have Transfiguration Sunday in our liturgical calendar for every year. And so we have 6 days later, the high mountain, Peter, James, and John, the transfiguration. They see Moses and Elijah and Jesus, and everybody's lifted up, and there's all this glory around them. And Peter says to Jesus, in one of his open mouth insert foot moments, Lord, it's good to be here. If you wish, I will make 3 dwellings. Again, Peter's like, forget about it. This is going to be awesome. This is a miraculous thing. We need to mark it. We need to build a building around it. Interestingly, that Jesus, in the previous chapter, had just said to him, I will build my church on you. And so he's building his church on a person. And Peter doesn't quite get it. He decides to build a dwelling for these celestial-looking beings on this mountain. So this beautiful transfiguration happens, and they're all transfigured. They're all changed somehow, that witnessed that, and then Jesus himself. He wants to make everything, Peter wants to make everything that he sees more permanent. He wants to hold on to Jesus as long as he can. And he wants to hold on to the feeling he gets by being with Jesus as long as he can. Then after the transfiguration, there's a conversation about Elijah being John the Baptist, because of course Elijah was involved with this transfiguration. And then Jesus cures an epileptic boy, which I think is really significant, that this is the disease back then that we still have today. And the first person I ever knew in a church that I'd been a part of that had epilepsy was in Ocean View. And it's just one of those things where it could strike at any time, and so it limits your life and your freedom. And Jesus to heal this is just significant to me, because I think it's really, really special. He cures this epileptic boy, and then he says again to them that they're a faithless generation. And then at the end of chapter 17, there's this kooky little part that I don't think it's preached on a lot. And there's this conversation about taxes, and we know this famous line. It's not in this part, but Jesus had said it before, about render under Caesar what is Caesar. So they're asking about paying taxes. They're in Capernaum. And he says, however, so that you do not give offense to them, people collecting the taxes, go to the sea, cast a hook, and take the first fish that comes up. And when you open its mouth, you will find a coin. What? That's what it says. When you open its mouth, you'll find a coin. And take that and give that to them for you and me. It's like, represent our taxes for us, but I'm not going to give you the coin. I'm going to tell you where it is. Go fishing. catch a fish, and open the mouth of the fish. I hope it was a bass, because that would have been easier. It's going there. Now, commentaries are so small I can't even read them with my glasses on. Commentaries just talk about Rome and the significance of the taxes for the disciples. And just to say that God will provide the money for taxes. Okay. So that God's, their hard-earned money isn't used for Rome. It's considered to be a defiant demonstration of God's sovereignty that will overcome Rome eventually. They try to kill Jesus and he comes back. And so we think about taxes for the disciples get to think about taxes in a different way. But I think that next time you get your property tax bill and you're a little bit short, get out there to Okeechobee and go fishing. What a weird passage. It's Jesus saying no to empire again. And, we talk about it in our sermons as well. But I hope you have a beautiful and blessed day.